welcome to Horns Up. I'm Animesh.
And I'm Peter.
And this show promises opinions, rants, and maybe even some fisticuffs. That's because after a long time, we're doing yet another episode of Metal or Not. That's Horns Up's attempt to ask the ever-eternal question, is a particular band metal or not? And that means it's not just Peter and me you'll be hearing. You'll also be hearing two gentlemen who came together during the pandemic to give the metal world Replicant PR, an independent, full-service PR agency dedicated to promoting heavy music. And unless you've been living under a rock, you know who these two gentlemen are. And yes, you can hear them snickering. Peter, will you do the honors, please?
Yeah, so I'm really happy to finally get on the podcast two of my friends who I've known for a really long time, Abbas and Anoop. Welcome to Horns Up, guys.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Man, I still remember when we started Horns Up a couple of years ago, telling you guys about it. And every time we'd meet at a gig or somewhere, I'd be like, yeah, you guys should come on the podcast. And now, it took a pandemic, right? And the second wave that too, to get us on.
And I still have your little badges, Horns Up badges that you wear, the button badges.
Yeah. At least somebody has them.
I've got mine on my fridge.
Nice.
Okay. Before we continue, because these are only voices that we'll be hearing, I'd like Abbas first to just say hey or introduce himself so that our listeners know what Abbas sounds like.
Hey, this is Abbas here. I play bass in this band called Godless and also work with Anoop on a full-service PR agency called Replicant PR.
Bro, that's on your site, man. I just read the same thing out.
No.
And of course, Anoop.
Hey, this is Anoop. That's all you need to know.
Anoop is a man of many talents. Not only is he an architect, he's a visual designer, he's a graphic designer, he's an illustrator, he's also an artist management guy, right?
Yeah. Actually, Anoop almost made it to our episode with Dairaki because he manages them.
Yeah, I think there was a snuck-in cameo appearance he did there, and then we thought about. We had a very long chat with him about how do we talk artwork on an audio podcast, and it never ended up happening. And obviously, we've been wanting to talk to Godless for a long time, but they're finally in the studio, and I think it's finally happening, and we'll get a great opportunity to talk to Godless when that album finally comes out.
Sweet. Looking forward to being back. Or maybe the other band members will be here.
Everybody will be here for that one.
Sweet.
Okay, cool. So this is Metal or Not, which means I'm just going to lay back and opine and whine and maybe even rant. Peter, start this one off, man.
Okay, so long-time listeners will definitely know what Metal or Not is, where we just basically, like Animesh said, decide whether the band is metal or not. This is going back to all of us sitting around drinks and just ranting and raving. So get your favorite beverage and let's go. First band. This is a band that actually won a Grammy, so that's why I wanted to talk about it.
Okay.
And let's go. Body count. Metal or not? Who wants to go first?
Anoop?
No, someone else.
Body count. I've never heard a Body Count song.
Fuck, you've not even heard the Slayer cover? Come on.
I've heard the Slayer cover. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. But it's essentially what? It's Ice-T's metal band.
Yeah.
Or Ice-T's rock band, which is predominantly very heavy and hence qualifies for metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's, more on that metalcore, hardcore space, but I guess it falls under metal.
Okay, wait 1 second. Do you guys think Rage Against the Machine is metal?
Oh, wow, that's a good question.
No,
you don't. Okay, Abbas doesn't think it's metal.
I think the metal dude is fucking metal.
Okay, yeah, I agree with Anoop. Rage Against the Machine is metal. Peter, what about you? I don't know why we're talking Rage Against the Machine.
No, but I think
it's a precedent. We're setting a precedence here.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I too, because we had a long discussion. We did an entire episode on the Rage Against the Machine album with Anurag Tagat. So yeah, I'd say. But okay, then since everyone's being there, dude, like, first of all, let's get reactions to that Grammy nomination. Forget winning it. I was like, what the hell, man? I mean, like, there are so many bands.
What were they nominated for? Best heavy metal band?
Yeah, best metal.
In which year?
This past Grammy that just went.
Who won the Grammy?
They won it.
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was
that's the one with High on Fire. Didn't High on Fire also?
No, that was the one before that. High on Fire won, I think.
Yeah, High on Fire won. But this past one, don't worry. Like, we'll get into the Grammy because I don't know why suddenly I thought of artists that got nominated in metal, which didn't make sense to me.
Okay, wait. Next question then. Who amongst here, apart from the Angel of Death cover, has actually heard a Body Count song?
I don't think I've even listened to the cover, dude.
I think I've seen a video, I think, but I can't remember if it was. I mean, I don't remember the song at all, but I think I've seen some video.
Dude, so I think I'm the only one. There's a song that they have which is really hilariously titled, and this reminds me of a Bombay metal band. Both of you are gonna get it when I say the name. The title of their song is "Talk Shit, Get Hit."
Okay.
Wait, whose song is this?
This is a Bodycount song.
What, seriously?
Yeah, which is like basically, and there's a video of Ice-T coming out. So someone's like trolling him on Twitter or something.
Okay.
They show him like reading that and coming through the screen and pulling the guy in and all of that shit. And I was just like, this is like proper like tough guy metal or whatever. But I don't know, man. Like for me,
I haven't listened to them. I mean, to say that maybe there's some album I know or songs I know, but then I know what they sound like. And also I follow the guy on Twitter because he like owns people left and right, like all the time. Ice-T, like he's just everyone writing up to him. He's just quote tweeting, is that what it's called? To them, and then just laying it fake. So I find the character super metal. Like he is like super metal, but then I don't know, just the distortion, I guess, makes it metal. I don't know.
I'm basing this solely on the Angel of Death cover. If you are covering Angel of Death...
Actually, by the way, it was not Angel of Death, it was Raining Blood.
Okay, see? Wow, such a great cover. We actually didn't fuck up the song name. But yeah, having seen that video, it's only a metal band that would try and attempt a cover and try to emulate it to that degree, right? Because they were pretty much on par with the original song.
But then
Ice-T comes in and destroys the vocals.
Yeah.
Right?
No, but the thing is, they messed up a few of the riffs, dude. They played the wrong notes in the music video, dude. I was like, shit, dude, this is a cover, like a big cover. Okay, like they're like big budget, big video. And I was like, oh, shit, you're playing the wrong notes, man.
I think this is one of the weirdest decisions I'm going to be ever making, because apart from that cover, I've never heard a single song of Body Count. So, since I consider Rage Against the Machine metal, these guys definitely seem like they are metal, but I don't know how. But I've never heard an album or a song, so I hope that metal cred that clearly they have, right? The attitude, the presentation is clearly metal. It's not like Linkin Park. It's not like Limp Bizkit. It's not It's not like what. Shit, Crazy Town.
Oh my god! Now we're back to like the early 2000s, are we?
Yeah, and also I don't know Ice-T as a rapper either. I thought he was an actor.
Yeah, no, I mean he started off as a rapper, went into movies, and he also always had like a bit of a metal connection since like the 90s. Like, I mean, not like, I think they did some crossover like collaborations like with some metal. He did something with some metal band, but he always was like
tendencies, no?
Oh, that seems believable.
Yeah, I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah, could be.
But whatever. Yeah. So,
but he had that metal, this thing.
Okay, so if you want verdicts, I'll say it's metal. It's just that this is an extremely uneducated opinion, and I feel like I'm part of Arnab Goswami panel where I've been forced to answer a question. So I'll vehemently raise my hand and say, yeah, okay, fine, he's metal. Move on. Abbas, Anoop, do you guys agree? Are they metal? Are they not?
Yeah, I guess. I think, I would pass it off as metal.
From whatever I've heard, I guess you'd call them metal. And like Animesh said, if Rage is metal by that logic, these guys also are metal. So yeah,
Peter.
but then
So I'm in the minority who says they aren't.
And okay, so wait, this is weird, right? The three of us who haven't actually heard any of the body
Exactly.
we're saying that they're metal. And Peter, the only one to have heard a body count song or an album. I don't know which one did you actually.
I've already
have
heard
you
the
checked
singles.
out Carnivore? That was the name of the last album, right?
Right, yeah, that was the name of the album. Well, it's got like a metalish name as well.
Yeah, right, Carnivore.
Yeah.
it's that's the one with the that really detailed artwork, right? Like on the front.
Someone remembers only the artwork.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, you're right.
It's like a big skull or something. Like it's one big mass of some shit.
Yeah, clearly, visual presentation, attitude, on point, metal.
I mean, from your description, it sounds like the most generic. Like, you know, you just enter metal, like, let's have a skull on the cover. Like, wait, I'm a rapper, but I know a little bit about metal, so we should have a skull on there. Call it Carnivore, it sounds brutal.
Dude, you know the guy who drew the Ghost album covers, like
yes, it's big new. It's big new.
I can't. Yeah, that's
Polish
the guy
guy.
who drew. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Polish guy. Yeah,
Oh shit.
Polish,
Sick.
Swedish.
Polish.
Swedish
He's
guy,
Polish.
some-
Yeah, no, he's Polish.
Oh, sorry, Swiss guy. No, okay.
No, he's definitely Polish.
European.
It's big new black or something.
Yeah, I can't say
Okay,
that.
so wait, I have to ask this. Peter, why aren't they a metal band? Please tell us in all your educated, informed opinion, wisdom.
I mean, for me, how do I put it? It's like I said, it's that tough guy image that for me is just a put on, right? Because you know the fact that, hey, these guys are not. And especially when you have someone like him who's clearly well known in, the hip hop or rap circle, right? Who's kind of coming in and saying, okay, I want to be metal. And come on, like, if you're going to cover a Slayer song,
You have to have balls to be able
Actually,
to
yeah, but yeah, I think it's cool that he did that. I mean, like I said, I haven't heard the music and all that. It's cool that, like, I mean, he has like a hip hop career, but he actually wants to play metal or whatever he thinks is metal. But then he did, like, I mean, Slayer, like, props for liking Slayer and shit and wanting to cover that.
Yeah, I think Abbas is basing this whole argument over them covering Slayer.
So am I. Completely.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Let's
go. Unfortunately, Peter, sorry, but 3 to 1 body count is metal.
Okay, so I think since you brought up Crazy Town and Linkin Park and all of that, right? So it's a great way to segue into a band, which I think everyone will have a clear opinion on. Sum 41.
Ooh. Definitely not metal, I think.
Not metal. Next question.
Animesh, I want to hear your opinion.
The first Sum 41 song I ever heard was Pain for Pleasure.
Hey, that was a metal.
Which is a beautiful tribute to Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Right? It's an excellent tribute to Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, when I first heard it, it was presented to me as an Iron Maiden song. Okay.
Oh.
And this is obviously in the time when we didn't have the internet at our ready hands and disposals. So I was like, wow, okay, how come I've never fucking heard of this song by Iron Maiden, right? Like, I've gone through the albums and stuff and I've never found a Pain for Pleasure on there. It doesn't sound like a Maiden title. But then you start hearing it and you hear the gallops and you hear the guitars. Fantastic. And then you come to the vocals and you're like, no, this can't be an Iron Maiden song. This has to be maybe like one of their studio outtakes from when they were trying to audition vocalists or something of that sort. But having said that, the last Sum 41 album, I forget the name of the album, but I was really excited for it because the first few singles that they released were so distinctively heavy. And that's because the band had come back together, like the original band had come back together, and their guitarist, Brown Sound, Dave Bucksh. Dave Bucksh, Brown Sound.
Every Indian claims
exactly. He's a fantastic guitar player, and he definitely is a metalhead. And you see that in the riffs, and you see that in the way he plays, etc.
Even the Metallica MTV Icon thing, where they were one of the best bands.
Completely. Yeah, totally agree with you. So when the last album was being released and the video started happening, right? I was like, holy shit, this seems to be Sum 41's comeback album, and they're deciding to actually take it up a notch. I was super excited. I was like, holy shit, if Sum 41 can actually, a band which is a punk band at heart, but can pay tribute to their heavy metal interests and hobbies and release a heavy album, it'll be a great way for new kids and even old kids who used to listen to Sum 41. Maybe it'll become a sort of an entry band or a gateway band and put them onto more metal. But then the album came out and it was a fucking stinking pile of shit apart from those singles. Because I think basically what they're like, you should have been their PR company or maybe not, because they're not heavy music. But definitely the album, it seemed like, or the single release plan, it seemed like somebody had advised them to basically say, hey, you know what? The only people who care about listening to old music these days are metalheads, and so you should release heavy songs so that the metalheads get all excited and think that Sum 41 is paying tribute to metal roots, and hence will check out your album. But yeah, Sum 41 definitely not a fucking metal band. Punk man out and out with
for sure
tendencies, maybe.
But definitely metal band.
Yeah, and also, I mean, just to be clear, like we're just saying metal or not metal. We're not saying they're not a good band by that extension. Okay? Not metal is not bad.
Absolutely being politically correct.
I was about to say.
No, that's not why I say it, because some of the stuff is enjoyable. Like it's proper pop punk shit. So
it's really good.
Enjoyable,
I mean, All Killer No Filler was a brilliant album.
Yeah, dude, that album,
was a
that
really
entire
good album.
production and everything, as like what 15, 16 listening to that was like great. And even like you said, I think Dev Baksh has separately, I was just looking it up. It's actually a metal / reggae band.
What?
Yeah, like I don't know, but like I think they do. If I'm not mistaken, these guys, him including another few of them, have like an Iron Maiden tribute act also.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so they love doing that, but I think there is a majority on this. I mean, I don't consider them a metal band at all. I mean, not at all. It's just probably like you said, maybe when we were much younger and you hadn't like gone down the rabbit hole of extreme metal and all, you would have considered them. But yeah, I mean, or probably they just kind of position themselves. It's about positioning also. But
I know, man, they were clearly a punk band. But they did like their metal, and which is absolutely evident in Pain for Pleasure as well as some of the other heavier songs that they've done.
Okay.
And it's also the aesthetic, right? Like I think for us, three of us who hadn't listened to enough Body Count, still qualified it as metal was, I think, purely based on the aesthetic cost. Like Body Count, I've seen at the art, I've looked at the artwork, the logo, and like how they present themselves and all that. So that is like a screaming metal. Nothing about Sum 41 screams metal.
So you show up like that you show up with that hairstyle to a metal gig, you'll get massacred, man. And I know this because I've played in a band with a guy who has a mohawk. Mohawks don't go well in metal crowds. Not at all. At least, yeah.
Yeah, like they're like extras behind Amir Khan and Dilshad.
There's your Bollywood reference for this episode. But okay, so since we've got a majority in that, let's move on. Now, I'm sure this will polarize the four of us. Poppy. Is Poppy metal or not?
I've never heard of this.
I think Abbas's face tells it all. So,
I have no idea what this is also. I've never heard of this. Like,
Again, I know only the artwork.
Okay, so let's divide this. I think Anoop is only going to talk about all the artists.
That's absolutely fine.
Yeah, true. I'm okay with that. But wait, Abbas, you haven't heard.
I've never.
Wait,
no idea.
You don't WWE wrestling?
Not anymore, dude. Like I've early 2000s is where I like the Attitude Era. Like was the end of it for me.
I think I'm gonna let Animesh take the stage.
Fuck you,
please.
Yeah. Okay.
But what's the connect between WWE and them?
Okay, so that's actually the easier question to answer. Poppy's been doing a lot of performances on WWE's third brand called NXT. So much so that the show or the brand NXT has adopted one of her songs as its main theme song.
Oh, it's a her.
Yeah,
actually,
Poppy is a her.
I thought it's the name of a band.
It is. I mean, that entire collective is called Poppy, or but it's one person.
The only reason I know it's a female is because she's on the cover also.
Okay, so I know exactly why Peter is asking, is putting Poppy in the ring. The bad WWE pun there, but I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, because it comes down to me fucking saying I really enjoyed the last album that she did. Okay, Poppy is essentially, think of her as I'll give you the easiest reference point. She's Lady Gaga mixed with Billie Eilish, but obviously extremely not big enough. Okay,
right.
So essentially a pop star.
Right.
Grew to fame by doing pop music and by doing extremely like quirky, innovative content. Okay,
wait. Now, I don't want to cut you, but did they release a video recently with like a genty riff going on? And
yeah. So I'm coming there.
I think I've seen that video. I think. Okay, so I've heard of
coming
the band.
there. Yeah. So Poppy, right? That's what she starts off with. Okay. Grows some fan base. Now, her last album cycle belongs to the album called I Disagree. Okay. Right. In which Poppy as an artist has brought an actual band to back her up. So it's no longer only electronics or only a DJ backing her. Right. And the band knows their chops. They do a good job of guitars, bass, drums. It's heavy and it is metal sounding. Okay. Poppy as a singer has also started growling. She started shrieking. She started to incorporate essentially those metallic elements. And the album is, if you were to give it to a lay listener, because it's noisy and it has all those metallic sonic templates in it, somebody will say that, yeah, it's metal. But that opinion will only come from a lay listener, because anybody who's a metalhead will listen to it and go like, dude, this is pop, but it's pop which is flavored by metal. So while it's excellent music to basically clean your palate and cleanse your palate and have some fun and freak your friends out, कि यार देखो कभी ऐसा भी metal सुना है क्या? You know, and it's entertaining to watch and it's cute at some level and it's extremely hilarious at the other. But yeah, Poppy is not a metal act. It's a pop act which is borrowing a lot from metal. And who knows, on the next album cycle, it may just be Poppy becoming reggae or Poppy becoming ska or Poppy becoming punk or I don't know, Poppy becoming grunge.
Here's the reason I included it, because Poppy was also nominated for Grammy.
Really?
In
metal?
In the metal, yeah.
Oh, dude, these Grammy guys don't have like anything. What are they smoking?
I see. Like,
it started with Jethro Tull, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
True. That's true.
So
like
Poppy
no salvaging it.
Yeah. So Poppy is genty, yes, but dude, like whatever. Half the world is genty these days.
Yeah.
But
so Poppy is not metal.
Yeah, I think Animesh has made a good case and done a good description. But yeah, like thanks to Animesh, actually I knew Poppy exists, to be honest. And like whenever she releases a new single and it comes across, I'm like, hey, have you heard this, Animesh? But yeah, I mean, having said that, right, I feel, and this is again my marketing mind, you may call it, is that Poppy is the great way to kind of introduce people to metal, just like how Linkin Park was in the early 2000s, right? It's someone just needs to hear someone quirky, strange, and they'll be like, okay, this is something I like. What's similar artists? This is what I miss about Last FM. Please, come on, guys.
Dude, I used to love Last FM, dude.
Yeah, that was the best
it's
part.
Still around, dude. Like, why are you talking like
No. I mean, like, we are probably like 4 of the few hundred users still who look for like recommendations. Like, remember?
I don't use it anymore, dude. I used to
Neither do I.
it was
Yeah.
fun when it was on a computer, when I used to listen to music only on my desktop.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
then the scrobbling, I think it was called.
Yeah, scrolling.
Yeah.
Then you had to download like some 100 scrobblers for everything. So then I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, I'm not doing
Yeah.
this. Like, it's too much.
And then Google Chat was a thing as well. So like you're like, oh, you're listening to this, and
Exactly.
Oh yeah, it used to show up in your
Yeah.
as your status or something.
yeah, this person is listening to this song.
Before we move on, I have to ask
Yeah.
this question to Abbas and Anoop. Guys, do you think baby metal is metal?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because no, clearly we've discussed this band on an earlier episode, that too with Sahil as a third.
Yeah, with Sahil.
And
I-
all of us
I
came
have
to the
an opinion.
conclusion. All of
I
us
have
came
an
to a
opinion.
conclusion that baby metal is metal.
I guess
You guys
I don't know. I'm not
agree,
sure, dude.
disagree? How do you stand on baby metal?
It's like two separate bands. It's like the music and vocals are like two different bands just mashed together. I wouldn't. It's confusing, dude. I would.
No,
Yeah.
the only reason I'm asking that question is because people will argue that, hey, if you guys think baby metal is metal, then poppy is metal too. But
Right.
that's what I'm trying to say, right? Like poppy is not metal because you can clearly, when you listen to the songs, you know that there is a formula at play here. It's essentially a pop song, which is borrowing heavy from the metal sonic template.
Right.
But baby metal songs are
It's like
structured metal songs.
musically it's metal kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Actually,
So, I don't know.
probably
Maybe
more,
I'm just trying to justify this to myself.
I think baby metal is a bit more metal than Ghost even.
Oh, snap. This is like
This is weird, but I actually agree with Abbas. Actually, I don't know why it's weird. It's absolutely right. Ghost is not a metal band. Baby metal is a metal band.
Listen, I only like one Ghost album. I think the first
You
one.
like the first one? No, but the last one was pretty good too.
Okay. Wait, Anoop
had an opinion.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Tell us
I
about
think
the
that-
artwork first.
No, actually, that's what. Like, I hate the artworks. It's just the logo on top, right?
Exactly. Yeah. There's nothing to it. It's like
Like, nothing
generic.
To,
a generic photograph with a logo.
yeah, and then
Let me look this up.
I find them metal, but then it's not. I mean, it's interesting. The vocals and all that is very catchy, of course. And
Yeah.
just because of the music, I think they're definitely metal. But it's not very good metal. But that's not what the show is about. So I'll stop there.
Yeah, absolutely. So okay, wait. So if you're looking to introduce somebody new who only listens to pop music to metal, I'd still recommend you guys first get them to check out Poppy and maybe sneak in a baby metal song, because the baby metal song is equally weird, if not more catchier.
I think. Okay, wait. I haven't heard that much Poppy. I think I've heard more baby metal, so I'm biased that way.
Yeah, but okay, cool. Come on. So we've kind of decided as a group, right? Poppy is not.
But what's weird is again, Poppy I've not listened to, but then I know the artwork and applying the same thing to the baby metal thing. Poppy actually comes across as a much more metal, sort of heavy, extreme artist, looking at the cover and all that. And then when you listen to it from what you're not saying, it's not that metal. But baby metal, dude, the logo is like, it's like some Hello Kitty shit. And then when you listen to it, it's like proper, distorted. It's very template driven, but then like it's your proper metal, what do you call it, melodic, metal music.
Yeah,
so
it is. It's so weird that Poppy, which is an out-and-out pop band, is more metal in terms of visual aesthetics, and that's what it's borrowing. Than baby metal, whereas baby metal is a metal band that is extremely poppy in its visual aesthetic, right?
It's just everyone's trying to do something different in their own genre and borrowing from other genres. That's basically what's happening.
Yeah.
So now, introduction to this band. Anoop, you cannot comment on this band's artwork because you're very biased. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Holy shit.
You
Does
know
it involve crows?
Anathema.
Okay. Sorry, I was going completely towards maybe diarchy.
No.
But that would be an interesting metal or not, no?
Yeah. Do it after this. But yeah,
After this.
Anathema.
But
Okay,
Anathema.
Anathema.
So for those who don't know, Anoop did a T-shirt, right, for Anathema.
Yeah.
A T-shirt. So you cannot comment on their artwork. Sorry, but
We can't comment on his artwork.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. But come on.
Yeah, I have a clear opinion. I'd like Abbas to go first, maybe.
I haven't heard too much, but from what I've heard, it's that place where, like, I mean, if you ask me if is Damnation by Opeth metal, which I would say no. And
Really?
Damnation is one of my favorite albums, like, but I wouldn't say it's a metal album.
Okay.
So I mean, I'd say they are also not metal, but in that way.
Okay.
It's more in the prog rockish, metalish phase. So I don't know where exactly to classify it. But then again, like I said, I haven't had too much Anathema, but I wouldn't. I think I wouldn't. From what the things that I've heard, I wouldn't say it's metal.
All right.
Yeah.
I've heard 2 albums. No, I've heard 3 albums by them. I think all the last, the ones in the 2010s. What was the one that begins? Weather Systems definitely. Distant Satellites definitely, and there's another one that begins with W.
We're here because we're here. That one.
We're here because we're here.
That's the one with the car photo.
Yeah.
So I see Abbas's point definitely, right? It's more post metal. If you were to include metal in it, it's more post rock or progressive rock, etc. But yeah, I even though the visual aesthetics and all may not scream overtly metal to me, I'd still like at Rhythm House or at a music store where you organize music, you'd still put them in the heavy metal rack. You won't put them in the rock rack.
Yeah, it's not that way. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So if I were to just categorizing them, metal band for me. Anoop?
I don't know how much this argument holds, but I think they're a rock band now. Of course, like when we're talking about the bands, we're not saying like pehle metal tha, abhi nahi hai, all that. We're just talking about the band.
No, if you have that opinion, please make it, because we've had that same opinion for bands like Mastodon and even Tool for that matter.
Or Opeth for matter. What is Opeth now?
Yeah, or even Opeth for that matter.
or like how everyone says, right? Old pet.
Yeah. So they did start out like it's. The metalist of metal bands. They started out as that. And then right now, the kind of music they've been doing for like a good 80% of their career is just like playing, rock music or prog music or whatever. But then it's not metal by. They're metal by association just because they started out as a metal band. I guess that's why in music shops they'll be filed under metal.
And the fans are metal fans, but that doesn't make the band a metal band. That's what I think.
Okay, Peter, you're the deciding vote, because you can either hang our jury by making it 2 versus 2, or you can definitely put me into a corner and say fuck you.
So wait, let me introduce this. So I was, and it'll make sense why it came up. So I was asking my wife prior to this, right? I was like, hey, what are the bands that you sometimes are not sure whether they are metal or not, right? And the first band that came to her was Anathema, and I was like, oh, fuck, I have to think about it, because like, having said that, right, just like Anoop said, Pele metal tha, and I don't know why. Maybe if Anathema were not signed to Peaceful and they were not positioned as part of the doom kind of Peaceful doom that was there, right, with My Dying Bride and all of them, then they probably would have not been, because like I had met the guys when they came down to Chennai and played in 2012, and I actually asked them the question that, what did you all think? I don't think they ever had that attitude of a metal act. It was just they were put into that category and packaged together in there. And when you see their recent releases, all of them, it's proper rock too. Like this is stuff that if I give to anybody or try to introduce them saying, hey, this is a metal band, they'll be like, are you sure this is like your rock, right? This isn't really metal. So by that logic in there, and by their own admission, I'd say they're a rock band, not a metal band.
In fact, I've seen on my feed, I don't remember exactly who, but there have been people who shared their earlier albums saying things like, oh shit, like Anathema used to sound like this. I mean, like people got introduced to the rock side first, and then they go back and then listen to their debut or the one after that, and then they're like, wait, what the fuck happened? Like there was so much better or whatever. Like, and then that's something very strange. Like, but yeah, right now though, out and out rock band, I guess.
So clearly Anathema rock band, but a band that metalheads like to listen to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, the fan base is, I think, majority if there's 100 people at the gig, I think 90% of them would be into metal.
Yeah.
Like metalheads would be there. Then that's what I think. But
yeah, Anathema is one of those bands which metalheads are like, I don't listen to this metal music, I listen to lighter music. And so Anathema becomes
there's that band Alcest that came down to BOA. Now, I don't know that.
I'm waiting for where you're going with that.
Yeah, because dude, Alcest is one of my favorite fucking bands ever.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Their fan base is like black metal fans, but they're like not
even remotely sound.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not black base.
Not at all. Yeah.
They're not
black
base
is what they call it, right?
Yeah, black.
No, but I know, like when you put gaze and post between in the genre, you lost me, dude. I have no idea what that is.
But like proper shoegaze thing is going on, and then there's some I don't know. Does he still do the black metal vocal? He doesn't.
Yes, he does. On the last album, he brought them back again.
That was the.
I've not. Okay.
Yeah.
But then again,
album.
But again, like their fan base is like metal, right? Like metal. People who dig metal.
Yeah, it's out and out metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it's still controversial. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I think this one will definitely not be hung, and I clearly know I can sense who's going to be for or not. But let's go. Periphery.
Fuck.
Hey, wait, what? Come again? I didn't hear.
Periphery.
Periphery, okay.
Metal, I guess. I mean, not the good kind, but the metal. I'd say the metal.
Dude, if body count is metal, then Periphery has to be metal.
That's what I was just wondering. I mean, in a twisted way, I kind of programmed this to kind of see who says what or how we go.
But here's the thing, right? In your, you've told me Periphery, and for some reason, I'm thinking Animals as leaders. It's just right now that I realized that no, man, Periphery is not the Animals and Leaders guy. Periphery is the band that puts out songs with actual vocals on them, and which has a really cool video about ketchup and mustard.
And three guitarists.
Yeah. But yeah, Periphery is
metal, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
here's an interesting story. Okay. This happened to me last week. No, not last week, a fortnight ago. I was at my cousin brother's place, and he's a kid. He's he's just turned 18 this year. All right. As far as I knew, he wasn't a huge music fan. So this time when we were playing Uno and I decided to be DJ by playing YouTube songs, I was like, you keep it because it's in the drawing room, etc. I can't blast metal. So I'm playing normal rock music and stuff. And then he says, hey, can I make you listen to this song that I'm currently really enjoying? And I say, yeah, cool. And he puts on, he asks me to search for something, and it ends up being a soundtrack to one of the new Doom video games. Okay.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, this is gent. And he's like, what's gent? And I'm like, gent is a genre which is an onomatopoeia of the name itself. And he goes like, oh, that sounds cool. What should I listen to? Right? So I go like, okay, so if you like this, maybe you'll like Tesseract. So I put on Tesseract, and he fucking loved Tesseract. Great. Then I said, okay. Now I'm like, oh, wow, chota young lad, let's introduce him to metal. Chalo, you like Tesseract? Try Meshuggah. So I put on Meshuggah. And he's like, dude, this is too heavy for me. I don't like it. So I'm like, okay. Then I'm like, what else do I play? And so because the Periphery music video that I talked about is a good music video, I made him listen to the Periphery thing. And he says, yeah, Nimesh, ye is heavy, but it's as if the band is trying to sound heavy. And this is coming from a guy who hasn't heard a lot of genre or metal music as such.
Yeah.
Peter, what does that tell you, my friend?
I'll introduce him to Bulb SoundClick demos. Like that's OG stuff, dude.
I remember the same way. Actually, I used to Hydrogen. Do you remember Hydrogen?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
I still fucking love those demos, dude.
Yeah,
I still have all of them.
Same. I still have. Actually, the hard disk crashed, so I don't know if I can recover them. But
Hydrogen is Skyhub, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Version 1.
But I think it's just way better sounding, and it's fucking heavy as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
It had that raw sound, and I don't know. I just loved Hydrogen. I remember I found it on Reverb Nation, and it was all for free download.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That's where I scored all those demos from.
Okay, so cool. So Abbas says metal. I say metal. Peter, what about you?
Metal, man. Like for me, Periphery. I mean, I've talked about Periphery multiple times, and hey, if Misha Mansoor is listening to this episode by any chance,
We'll definitely try and get him on.
Yeah,
considering he finally has a Bulb album coming out.
Yeah, finally, like original Bulb songs, not Bulb songs that became Periphery songs later. But yeah, I mean, like it's strange, right?
He's going to fucking kill us, by the way, if he ever finds out that I'm comparing, that I'm thinking Periphery, but I'm actually thinking Animals as Leaders. He's like, dude.
Well, he was a part of the first album, so.
Yeah,
no, but still.
And by the way, Misha Mansoor is apparently a better drum programmer than a guitar player. You can call the drums on the Animal as Leaders.
Yeah, that was sick, dude. Like Yeah.
But so coming back to it, right? I mean, for me, honestly, it's going back to what I was saying earlier about, right? If Periphery is a band that you can introduce your cousin to, or you have someone younger in there who wants to hear, like I'm telling you, like I was the OG fan of Bulb on SoundClick, and then when I heard that first album, right, the vocals was exactly the way you described it. Like they were just trying so hard, and probably it's also the fact that you've heard all these songs so many times as instrumentals. Now you have vocals in there, and there's a reason why the vocalist is no longer with the band. I hope it's not Spencer. But yeah, like I just felt that I really didn't enjoy. And then like they came down when they released Periphery 2. Then they came to India and you watch those songs live and all of that. Like, of course, when you think about it from the metal aesthetic, there are a bunch of goofballs. Like you watch any of the documentaries and all, they're all fooling around. They're not one of those like tough guy metal heads or whatever. Like,
did you go to watch them, by the way?
I worked at NH7 at that time, so I did.
You were there for Testament, right?
Of course.
Hey, I was there too.
but
I missed both the gigs, dude, the same day.
Yeah. Wait, you met Gujira and you missed?
Yeah, I was playing on the previous band script, and we had a gig in Delhi, dude. Who has a gig in Delhi when Testament and Gojira playing in fucking Bangalore, dude?
On the same weekend. But coming back, like
sorry.
I would feel that it's similar, that if someone gets into metal through a band like them, and it's also what metal is in 2021, right? Unless you want to sit in your dungeon and with your all black leather jacket and whatnot and kind of be there. it's fun. It's about
If you're sitting in a dungeon in an all-black leather jacket, then you may not be listening to metal, Peter. You may be doing some other shit altogether.
Yeah, you'll have a few freezers in there probably.
Yeah, who knows?
But
Last name might be Dahmer as well, maybe.
But yeah, metal for me.
We haven't heard from Anoop yet.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, I've listened to the music. I've seen them live also. I saw them at 10-7. It's very similar to what Animesh sense that they're using the same sort of what do you call it? The guitar tone, the textures, and then the whole gent sound. Like, although it comes from comes from metal, but then it's texture wise, it's so unique that it's a descriptor by itself.
Exactly.
So then, my head, even though it comes from metal, like I can't always like it's probably out of all the bands we just mentioned, like what all was there? Sky Harbor, Tesseract. Out of all those bands, I think Periphery is the heaviest out of all those. Probably they are, right. Like others, I think are straight up like modern rock. Like I don't think it's metal music. But then Periphery is just, I don't know, they're heavy, they have the textures, they have the, what they call it, the same tones, but it doesn't, I don't know, like scream metal to me. But like Peter said earlier, that if I have qualified body count as metal just by...
You set the benchmark with the first question.
Yeah.
like somebody listening to it will be like, wait, body count was metal. Periphery is not metal. What are these guys drinking?
So at Hard Rock Cafe, right, when they used to have these competitions back in the day.
Yeah.
So I was scoring one of those things once, and they give you instructions. Okay, so the first band you give like there's 5 categories. You rate them out of 10. So the first band you give them 5 on everything, and then the rest of the bands you judge them based on whether it's better or worse in this. So you get them 7 off 3 years.
Interesting.
So basically, body count was the 5, this thing, and all the other bands are like 6 or 3.
That's a very good one.
Peter, are you happy with our answers?
No, but this has been entertaining.
No. Well, thanks.
No, I think this has been entertaining, right? Because I thought everyone would be like, fuck Periphery.
I don't like Periphery at all, but I just I have no one to create a genre or I think it's metal, but it's not my kind of metal.
Yeah, same here for me.
Yeah.
Periphery is metal, it's not my kind of metal, even though I enjoy other gent bands.
Yeah, I like Sky Harbor, like I said, a few songs from the first album because of Hydrogen, because it was heavy as fuck,
Yeah.
But then again, I can't. And the thing is, fuck, I love Meshuggah, dude. I fucking love Meshuggah. They're the fucking greatest band. It's like Meshuggah gave birth to Gent, Pantera gave birth to new metal, I guess, on some level. Yeah. And it's all the band is very different from the bands that they influence, but they are say the pioneers for that genre.
No, for that matter, so many stoner rock bands these days, they come from straight up influenced by Black Sabbath, who most people would say originators of metal music. But then when you listen to these bands today, you just dude, that's straight up, just rock, bluesy rock music.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But then the thing that it comes from, Black Sabbath, is the metalist of metal bands. But so it's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what you listen to Sabbath, and those riffs are fucking heavy and dark, and it is metal. The thing is the same way. But the bands some of the bands that are hugely influenced by them might not sound metal at all.
The same kind of sounds, the same kind of influence. Another band, a Swedish band, I think. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but Viljarta.
Oh yeah,
Viljarta. They are back as well, right? Viljarta is back with a new album or something.
So that band for me is purely metal because the atmosphere is so fucking, almost very suffocating, and that sort of gent has that dark, ominous vibe to it. But then when I'm listening to Periphery, I don't get that, I don't want to...
Yeah. It's a little bouncy and happy kind of.
Yeah, like the most, I mean, since we're talking about it, like a band like Dance, they use the same textures, the same templates, the same, tones. But then I wouldn't call it metal by any stretch of, I mean, that guy's sung in like, did he sing in Tides of Man or something? Like earlier, the vocalist. But then that band, like Dance, isn't a metal band, but then they use all the all the what do you call elements of metal.
Yeah.
So
They basically check the right boxes.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to vibe, dude. Like a lot of it comes down to
Exactly.
vibe. Because even when we are talking about Sabbath, like technically, if you see, it's like really heavy acid rock or downer rock, as they called it in the 70s. But then it's a vibe that makes it metal,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then Periphery is like full like light blue and whatever. That's the only cover I know.
Yeah, that's what it finally comes down to. It comes down to that eternal, that weird as subjective thing of feel. Periphery feels metal.
Yeah.
Right? No, it does. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Poppy uses the same.
I'm trying to say it doesn't feel metal.
Yeah.
What?
I mean,
You just said Periphery is metal.
I mean, yeah, like technically, and also since,
it may not be your cup of metal.
It's like a baby metal vibe.
Baby metal vibe.
Like Peter said, no, we've sort of trapped ourselves with that first
with the body count
thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I can't take that back. But then I'm just okay, metal. They're a metal band, but then I'm not very sure. Like it comes with an asterisk. Metal with an asterisk.
Metal, also for non-metal heads.
Yeah, actually, we should create like this whole Spotify or whatever playlist. Metal for non-metal heads. This is what
I mean, earlier Abbas also mentioned, didn't we discuss Ghost? Like Ghost is fucking like the whole template is metal, but then they don't end up sounding metal. So So
Ghost is old school shock rock, hard rock.
Yeah,
it's not metal. So there it was, another episode of Metal or Not, in which we ranked Body Count as a metal band. Okay. Sum 41 as a non-metal band, everyone agrees. Poppy as a non-metal act, everyone agrees. Anathema as non-metal, everyone largely agrees. And Periphery as metal but with an asterisk. Make of that as what you will. If you guys agree with us, or even if you don't, why don't you tell us? We are always available at honsubpod.com, or you can catch us on Twitter at honsubpod. I'm at Asmoani on Twitter.
I'm at Trend Crusher.
Replicant PR boys, you guys want to plug yourselves, leave all your social media handles where people can find you, and your personal and your band related and your individual project related works as well.
All your side hustles.
I don't even, there's too many. But yeah, like Godless India on all platforms. That's the only consistent name on all platforms, so you can find the band there.
And Replicant PR is set at Replicant PR on all platforms, although we're only active on Twitter, so you can just follow us there maybe. Otherwise, you can follow me, my work, whatever little I share on at Anoop. That's on all platforms again.
Fantastic, gentlemen. Okay. This was fun. And Peter, I have a suggestion. I think Metal or Not needs to evolve a bit. Here's a twist proposal, and I'd love Abbas and Anoop's views on it too. The next Metal or Not, we should get into subgenres. For example, is Meshuggah gent?
Does this thrash? Oh, thrash or not?
Thrash or not, featuring Metallica.
Oh God.
Sepultura, new metal or not?
Yeah, dude, I think that's going to be much more involved in like people are going to hate each other after that.
You need a specialist panel for that.
Abbas and Anoop, I think definitely you guys warrant another trip back to do another evolved Metal or Not with us. We'd love to have you guys on again.
Oh, we'd love to be back, man. It was good fun.
Yeah, I'd love to disagree some more. So I'd love to be back. This is very safe, I think.
Yeah.
So on this note, gentlemen, this was Horns Up.
Horns up, guys.